A week ago, you would have had a hard time finding Democratic lawmakers publicly questioning President Biden's ability to run the country. Today, they're not so hard to find. 5 days after Biden's disastrous debate, Democratic Texas Congressman Lloyd Doggett is now calling on the 81-year-old president to step down. In a statement, he wrote this: "I represent the heart of a congressional district once represented by Lyndon Johnson. Under very different circumstances, he made the painful decision to withdraw. President Biden should do the same." Former Congressman Tim Ryan of Ohio took it even further. In an op-ed, Ryan wrote that Vice President Kamala Harris should be the Democratic nominee, arguing this election is about generational change. And just moments ago, another sitting congressman, Democrat Jared Golden of Maine, out with a different warning. While not saying Biden should drop out, he warned that Donald Trump is going to win the election. The White House response to all of that today: stop freaking out. It was just a bad debate night.
We understand. We understand. We're not taking away from what you all saw or what the American people saw. We understand. It was a bad night. It is not uncommon for incumbents to have a bad night on their first debate. And we are going to continue to do the work that we have been doing on behalf of the American people. I think the president's record certainly speaks for itself.
Now, part of the White House strategy is showing that Biden is still capable of doing the job. He delivered remarks on extreme weather at the D.C. Emergency Operations Center earlier today. The White House has announced a series of events that will put Biden in front of the press. Let's go to NewsNation's Kellie Meyer now, live for us from Washington. Kellie, I was watching that press briefing. A lot of pushback about the president's health concerns, even asking for more comprehensive medical records for our president.
Yeah, Hannah, the entire hour-long briefing, more than hour-long, was focused on the president's health and questioning his ability to do this job for another 4 years. It comes as some members, as you mentioned, of his own party are calling for President Biden to bow out of the race. Today, the first Democratic Congressman, Lloyd Doggett, publicly calling for Biden to withdraw. And even one top Democrat, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, leaving the door open, saying it is a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition? And today, that question was asked in the White House press briefing room, and here is how the White House press secretary responded.
He had a cold and a bad night. I would not see this as an episode. I would see this as what it was and what we believe it to be, which is it was a bad night. And he did, on top of that, he had a cold.
Now, we are learning tonight that the White House is going to have an all-staff meeting tomorrow afternoon. We were just confirmed that through the White House sources here that will be happening tomorrow. Hannah.
Okay, good to know, Kellie. And Biden has quite a few public events scheduled in the coming days. Tell me more about those.
Yeah, you know, right off the top of the briefing, they talked about the events he has lined up. We know this week, the 4th of July event, but he also has that first sit-down interview post-debate happening. He'll be heading to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, an important battleground state, and he'll also be speaking at NATO next week, where the White House promises he will have a solo press conference. And it's not just Biden. Kamala Harris is sitting down for an interview, and the White House and the Biden campaign are seeming to take some of the advice from some Democrats to get out in front of the camera, do press conferences, do unscripted events, but whether or not it quiets the calls that we're hearing from the other side of the party remain to be seen. Hannah.
I know you'll stay on top of it. Kellie Meyer, live from our nation's capital. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.